Take a moment to think about the specific label you currently assign to yourself. You might identify as an employee, a struggling artist, or an imposter. Psychology suggests a rigid pattern here. Regardless of the effort you exert, your behavior tends to stay within the boundaries of the box you've drawn around your own identity. Consider a man who spent his life at a busy railway station. To every passenger passing through, and more importantly to himself, he was simply a beggar. His survival depended entirely on the pity of others. This label dictated his reality. He believed he had nothing of value to offer the world, meaning his only role was to wait and receive. This self-concept is challenged when a businessman stops in front of him. Instead of dropping a coin, the man explains that he is a merchant who only participates in transactions where both parties provide value. The businessman leaves him with a thought that the beggar can't ignore. If you have nothing to give, you have no right to ask. This creates a painful gap for someone who believes they are defined by their lack of resources. Driven by the need to find something, anything, to trade, the man notices wildflowers growing near the station tracks. He begins to gather them. He begins a new routine. Now, when someone gives him a coin, he immediately holds out a small bouquet of wildflowers in return. This exchange has an immediate effect. His income leaves its stagnant baseline, spiking upward as travelers value his flowers. However, his internal box remains. He views these payments as lucky charity, acting as a merchant but maintaining the heart of a beggar. At this stage, he is an anomaly, a man whose external results are improving while his self-image remains fixed. He is earning more, but he still perceives himself as a passive recipient of the world's kindness. When the businessman eventually returns to the station, the man is ready. He approaches with confidence and offers a bundle of flowers in exchange for the businessman's contribution. After the trade, the businessman looks him in the eye and says, "Today, you have become a merchant just like me." This observation forces a total reframing of his daily life. The transaction he just completed was no longer a plea for help. It was the delivery of a product to a satisfied customer. He looks at his flowers and the money he's collected with a new perspective. He realizes that travelers aren't just helping him, they are paying for the convenience and beauty of the flowers he provides. He realizes he no longer belongs on a station floor. He leaves the platform that day because the version of himself that was content to sit and wait has been replaced by a man who sees himself as a businessman. 6 months later, the businessman boards a first-class carriage and finds himself shaking hands with a well-dressed man he barely recognizes. It is the former beggar, now traveling to oversee the expansion of what has become a massive floral trade business. He credits his success to the shift the businessman sparked. While the physical act of giving and taking got him started, it was the decision to stop identifying as a beggar that allowed him to build a real enterprise. Look at how his resources reorganized. Once he saw himself as a businessman, he stopped using his earnings for mere survival. The wall between income and capital broke, allowing him to reinvest his money into inventory and scale. When you believe you are small, your decisions will naturally keep your world small. When you step into a larger identity, you are forced to make the decisions that sustain that bigger reality. It's worth examining the labels you carry. Are you operating under a self-definition that requires you to be a passive receiver of what life hands you? The world rarely offers a reward for value that hasn't been proactively created and offered first. Identify one way you can act as a creator of value right now, regardless of your current circumstances or how many resources you think you lack. Your life tends to organize itself around your primary label. By choosing to be a creator of value rather than a recipient of it, your daily actions and eventually your results shift to match that new identity.